Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, welcome. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I think you will find a lot of valuable content here on my channel. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary. I'm just someone who is on this journey to financial freedom and hopefully inspiring and motivating you to do the same. We are big on financial literacy around here and really helping you to be your own financial advisor, if that makes sense. So like I said, go on and like, share, and subscribe. Help me to grow this page. We're heading towards 15,000 subscribers. So thank you to all of you so much. I do appreciate it. So today we're going to be answering a question that I've been getting is, why do we save and invest so much? Like specifically why? And I will mention in my videos or in my intros, like my husband and I are saving and investing to be able to retire from the 9-to-5 and really focus on what we want to do. But again, sometimes that can be a little bit vague, especially to those of you who are new to the channel and you're trying to figure out what you want to do as well. And again, don't blindly follow me or anyone, but take the golden nuggets in terms of our whys. And maybe that could be used as a catalyst to help you to figure out your whys. Check out my playlist as well. I have a lot of playlists where I talk about investing in dividends. I show a lot of our accounts, real numbers over here. Again, to show you that we're not perfect, but rather we are consistent, and our strategy is, I think, rather simple. So let's get right into it. So you see right here, the number one reason. And these 5 reasons aren't really ranked in terms of importance. It's just how we listed them. So in terms of the first reason why we invest and save heavily so much, why we're so big into dividends, and why we are constantly, we just got our bonus. So you will notice when I do like more, I would probably say not next week because I do pre-film my videos, but the following week, you're going to notice when I do show the accounts, they're going to be higher. That is the reason why, is because we got our bonuses. But we really try to make sure we put our money to work for us, right? We try to make sure that we budget and fund. That's why we have budgets. That's why we have sinking funds. But when we get extra money, this is what we really do with it. We save and invest a chunk of it, because honestly, in the past, especially in my 20s, I'm 38, I spent a lot of the extra money that we earned on just stuff, right? Clothes, shoes. I'm really was big into purses, still am, but I'm much more selective about what I get. I'm going out all the time. We ate a lot of the money we made in terms of, the drive-throughs, going out to eat, happy hours and all of that. But now, since we have seen the light, we really changed a lot of what we did. So again, one of the reasons why we save and invest so much so that we can back away from the jobs while we make the sacrifice to do this is because we want to buy back our time. I think one of the things that many people don't understand and don't really fully grasp until it's too late is that time is short. Life is short. We don't have a lot of time. If you think about it, if you live to be 70 years old, that is a long time, but it's not a long time, if that makes sense to you guys. It seems like, I remember graduating high school, and that was 21 years ago. And I like saying it right now to all of you. It makes me, again, just more aware of, life, right? And we want to really spend as much of our younger years, really focusing on our passion projects. Again, it's nothing wrong if you want to stay in a 9-to-5, because I know certain professions, that is the end goal, and that's a great thing. However, my husband and I, we just rather, stop working for someone else and really try to build up our own businesses. But you need time to do that. I have 3 children who are very involved and active in a whole lot of things. And I have a daughter who is just starting to drive, and she's starting to create her own life because she's about to be an adult. And time, again, is so precious, and I don't have a lot of time with my children. And so I want to make sure that we create that time by saving and investing heavily so that when we are ready to back away from a 9 to 5, not only will we build our own businesses, but guess what? We can go on a vacation. And let me tell you, it is nothing like going to the beach at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like going on a staycation somewhere, from a Tuesday to a Thursday. It's nothing like it. And that flexibility of our time is something that's very important. But we know time costs money. And if we put things into place while we are actively working a 9 to 5, right? Making smart choices. I'm telling you, when that time comes in our life and we're really ready to just stop, then we'll have the resources there to be able to do that. Those dividends that you see me showing every month is helping to buy back our time, because guess what? Those dividends can pay for a utility bill. Those dividends can pay for a car payment if we ever got one again. Those dividends can pay for the grocery bill, right? Last month, we received over $700 in dividends. Guess what? That will pay for groceries for the entire month. That will pay for a down payment on a vacation. Your dividends can pay for things you wouldn't normally pay for because you put that money to work. And so buying back our time, every time I share our net worth, which I just shared recently, so make sure you check that out, we are buying back every minute of our time we spent working for someone else. And so, just that flexibility of doing what we want to do is very, very important to us. The next thing, number 2, and I'm just going to scroll down here, is to achieve financial freedom, right? How many of us don't come from money? I mean, and I know I used the wrong verbiage there, but let's just be real here. How many of us do not come from money? Raise your hand. And even if you do come from money, if you have that desire to want to, try to make it on your own, or maybe you did come from money and, circumstances as what they were, you don't have that now. So you're trying to get back to that. Well, I think many of us want to, let me click off of that. Thank you. Many of us want to achieve financial freedom in some way, shape, or form. You see the cost of everything going up. Relying on the government. And again, if it came to that, I will humbly take it because I am not too prideful to accept help. But I know from growing up and just watching different people in my life having to constantly, contact a caseworker, and they're always in your business when you are on, Medicaid or food stamps or whatever it is. And again, I would take it if I needed it, but they want to know every single thing. And then you got to go meet with them. And again, it's not enough sometimes. And so I figure, be proactive. And so I try to make sure that, again, when I went to college and I graduated college, and that's not saying you need to go to college to achieve financial freedom, but coming from where I came from, you needed to go to college unless you were an athlete or, something like that. And social media wasn't like what it was when I was 17 and 18 years old. This was 2001, 2002. It wasn't like it was today. And so we realized if you want financial freedom, if you want the ability to not have to worry about how to pay your bills. And again, this is me talking where I wasted a whole decade of my 20s just acting crazy with my finances. But when you see the light, that is the opportunity. That is the moment where we can turn things around for ourselves. So again, if an emergency come up, I cannot tell you the freedom it is. And so going to get that money from Capital One and just transferring it to the emergency that came up. Again, and this is another thing, if you have these money set aside, if you have an emergency fund, sinking funds, whatever it is, and you have to use it, that's what it's there for. Don't feel ashamed or less than or, defeated because you have to use that money. That's what it's there for. And you could just build it back up again. But imagine the opposite of that, having to borrow the money from somebody, having to use credit card or get a personal loan. I mean, come on, we're keeping it real here, right? And so, having financial freedom relieves a lot of that burden. You don't have to dodge the collection people. It's a blessing, a privilege to be able to pay your bills and handle emergencies as they come up. So yeah, financial freedom, that is definitely one of the top reasons why we save and invest so much. Let me scroll down here. Next is less stress. Now, I talked on this briefly up here, but let me just tell you guys. Oh, let me fix the screen. Okay. Let me just tell you guys. And this is something that I shared when I first started my YouTube channel. But again, I know a lot of you just joined. I had to get 2 surgeries on my breast. Why, do you ask? Because of lumps that were found. So you guys know breast cancer is a very real thing for a lot of people. And thank God I didn't have cancer, but we had to get the surgery and I had to get the lumps tested to ensure that. And so when you hear that, you go to the doctor, and let this be your PSA announcement to go get your checkups. Okay. Health is wealth. There's no point. And this is the mama in me talking, but there's no point in building up all of this wealth, achieving financial freedom, and your body is decaying on the inside. Go and get your checkups. Why? Number one, because you pay the health benefits, right? I mean, the healthcare is expensive. So let's go in and get our checkups. But another thing is just to, again, preserve self-preservation. But talking about stress here, there's nothing more stressful when you're trying to recover or heal from a surgery and you're being hounded by a boss to come back in. It's not only maddening and frustrating, it almost makes you feel depressed. Because again, instead of focusing on, I want to recover while waiting for the test results. I want to be able to focus on spending time with my family. You're worried and being stressed about going back into the office. And again, saving and investing and just being more responsible with our money creates less anxiety. I used to be very, very anxious when it came to money. In my heyday, when I call my 20s, when I would just be acting crazy, I would not look at the credit card statements. I would not look at the banking statements because I figured out of sight, out of mind. If I didn't look at it, it didn't exist. Not realizing that's not stopping late fees or overdraft fees or collection costs. My credit is going to the crapper. And so being on top of this more helps me to, not have as much stress. My finances, my husband and I's finances are so easygoing now. And it helps my husband and I's relationship to really be a little bit smoother, right? We're walking more on the same path because let me tell you, when the money isn't right in a relationship, and we'll be married 18 years in June, it doesn't create harmony at all. And so having less stress, across the board is again another reason why we're doing all of this, right? Being able to go to the beach. I love going to the beach. That's like peace to me. I don't even have to go into the water just to sit there and look at it and listen to it. That is peaceful to me. And so just having that, the less stress life is very, 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 very important to me. Let's go to number 4. Memories and travel. And I just touched on this a little bit when it comes to, like going to the beach and things. But again, my children, when we retire early, Lord willing, let's say at 42, my daughter will be out the house at that point. My son will be about 17 and I'll have another son who, will be 15. Time goes by so fast. It's insane. I remember when I had my children, I would have aunts that would tell me, enjoy it now. It may not seem like it because you're up all night, the baby's crying, they're fussy, but the time goes by so fast. And I'm telling you, if you're a new parent or soon to be parent, or you plan to have kids in the future, the time goes by. And I realized that, having freedom and saving and investing affords us to have memories, to be able to travel, not so much buy stuff. And we'll talk with our children openly, especially around Christmas. Like, what do you guys want to do? Do you want a bunch of stuff or do you want to visit a new place? And I'm telling you, they always rather visit somewhere new. Why? Because we get to experience something together for the first time. We're all getting our own responses and reactions. My children have been, my oldest daughter, let me just do her because she's 5 years older than my next son. But she has been to London. She has been to Romania. She has been to Canada. She has been to Hawaii. That's how the locals say it there, Hawaii. I was saying Hawaii, but that's how they say it. She has been all across the United States, California, South Carolina, again, Florida. We've been to Florida so many times, New York, just many, many places, Massachusetts, and she's only 16, about to be 17 years old. And again, for my 40th birthday, I would love to be able to either go to Switzerland or to Hawaii again with the children. And so having those memories and traveling and experience things, and even locally going to national parks, going to museums and, arboretums and things like that is something we really, really enjoy together. But you need money to do that, right? It's very expensive to buy plane tickets for kids nowadays. They ask you, do you have a child or is an adult? But the price is still the same, which I just think is so interesting. But having that time together, because again, they're going to be out the house. Well, my special needs son will be here with us, but still, like 2 of my children will be out the house, living their own lives. And it's harder to get them back home when they are adults. And so enjoying the time now, having game night, just doing things like that. So we're not tied to, a computer working, or we're not tied to at the office because we're working on a project. We're putting all that work in now so that we can enjoy that together. And then finally, we have to give back. A lot of people leave this out of their goals, but giving back is extremely, extremely important. And it's a part of our process. We have family that is still behind, that's left behind, that we want to be able to give a leg up to, right? To be able to open a door for. We won't be able to open all the doors, but I can tell you, if you have a niece or a nephew and they need money for books for college, for you to be able to send the money to them, that's a blessing. So they don't have to worry about trying to get another loan to get books and food, room and board and all of that other type of stuff. To be able to, send money to a relative because they're having trouble paying a light bill. That is not just a blessing, but it's fulfilling, right? Because I know how it feels to have people help me. And so giving back to my church, because they have so many resources available where they're giving out to the community. Again, the church is one of the places people go to when they fall on hard times, whether they go to church or not. So being able to support our church is very important. The Salvation Army is another important organization that we love, especially around the holidays. They have something called the Angel Tree, where you can adopt kids or a family and you buy gifts for them. That is fulfilling as well, to be able to help the homeless. I mean, again, giving back, because you can't take this money with you. So being able to, help someone else and get them through the door is, just as important to my husband and myself, to be able to educate people, to be able to share with them the importance of being wise with your money, being wise with your spending. You can have fun, but do it responsibly and think about your future. If you plan on being alive, right? 5, 10, oh my goodness, 25 years from now. Imagine the state of the economy, inflation, Social Security. Imagine how that will look. And if you don't want to work in your 70s, if you don't want to work in your 60s, if you want to be part-time, then right now, while we have the ability, this is what we can do to help. And let me just scroll before I end this video. So that's all 5. I'm going to show you right here. So you guys have seen this many times, and this video will be a little longer and unedited, but I want to really be detailed with this. All right. This is our retirement plan. Now I have this worksheet up on my website, mt1finance.com, if you want to get it. And thank you so much for your support. But again, if you need, this worksheet I didn't create it as an end all be all. I really created it as a starting point. Right? My current age, and then the age I want to retire. Then how many years is that left? So that way I know my timeline, right? What's my expected family dynamic? We don't think about that. Like, what is our household going to look like? Are you going to have a relative living with you, a parent, a child? You need to factor that in. Then your current financial state. You need to know where you are, your assets, your debts, your net worth, and then your progress towards that. Then the motivation, right? This journey is long. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. We are 9 years into this now. 9 long years, right? But it took us a decade to mess it up. So why not give ourselves a decade to get it right, right? So 9 years, motivation, our whys, and our timeline. And then I kept this from 2020 because I wanted you to see sometimes you don't achieve all of your goals. We didn't get the third rental last year because the market was just crazy. So we're hoping to do it by the end of this year. We're hoping to get a pre-approval somewhere in the October, November timeline. But Lord willing, I will be here sharing that with you all. But the Patreon folks will get more detail about that, like the interest rates and all of that. So if you want more insight into our journey, make sure you go on and check out the Patreon. We actually just met and we had a really, really good time over there, as well as the dividend group that I have over there. But this is the timeline, right? So that we know each year we have until we hit retirement. This is what we need to accomplish, right? Break that big goal down into small pieces and then plan for a withdrawal, right? Okay, we're investing, right? If you're investing in a 401k, you can't take that out before 59 and a half. If you're investing in a Roth IRA, you can't take out your gains before 59 and a half. You can take out your contributions, but you have to wait 5 years. And then there's Roth conversion ladders and all of that other stuff. So you have to wait for it. So we want to structure our accounts so that we can access cash and the Roth contributions, the HSA reimbursements, rental income, taxable income. Those are the dividends and things like that. So, this video, hope that it answered your question. I tried to be very thorough. But yeah, this is why we do what we do. This is why we are, investing and saving so heavily, is because we want to do all of these things. So let me know down below. You guys know I love interacting with you guys. Why are you saving and investing so much? Why are you making the financial sacrifice? Is it any one of the reasons I listed here? Is it your own reason? Let me know down below and we can chat there. If you need help, right? I have several books. I have a dividend workbook, an investing workbook, a wealth workbook. If you need help one-on-one, like privately, I have several portfolio clients. Book a session. I have 30 minutes and an hour. We can share screens, talk, and really help create a strategy for you. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I believe my next video is a portfolio update for April. So you're going to see some things there. So make sure you subscribe. Don't say I didn't tell you. Hit the bell notification button so that you don't miss an upload. And until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one.